Earth as a magnetism. Did you go through this remaining question? So here actually we were discussing about declination, the terms associated with Earth as a magnet, declination, angle of declination, angle of inclination, and the horizontal component of the Earth magnetic field. Okay. So let us start the revision by discussing some simple question. So match the following. This is the representation of magnetic field lines around a particular magnet. So here you can see the field lines of a current carrying finite solenoid, field lines of electric dipole, and the field lines of a bar magnet. In column A, it represents the magnetic field lines around a
bar magnet.
It's a bar magnet. Why? The figure B is also representing like that.
And the poles.
Poles are given. So we can confirm this is the magnetic field lines of a bar magnet. Okay. Now question number B, the diagram B.
Finite solenoid.
The field lines of a current carrying finite solenoid, because we know that the solenoid itself just behaves like a bar magnet. The field lines around the solenoid is exactly similar to that of the bar magnet. So the last one is the field lines of an electric dipole. So here the correct option is R, P, and Q. R, P, and Q. Okay. Now the next one. At the same place, the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is 0.40 Gauss. And the angle of dip is 30 degree. What is the resultant magnetic field? So here the Earth's magnetic field is given. It is 0.40 Gauss. And the angle of dip is given. It is 30 degree. Then what is the resultant magnetic field? Which equation we can use here? Horizontal component of the Earth magnetic field is given by
He cos
H is equal to horizontal.
cos
H is equal to BE cos theta, right? Cos theta or cos delta we are used here. Cos delta,
I
cos I. What is I represents? I
angle
angle. Okay, this is the angle of dip. So H is equal to BE cos I. And the vertical component is given by V is equal to BE sine I. Which equation we are used here to find out the resultant magnetic field?
First.
First one, because at the same place, the horizontal component of the Earth magnetic field is 0.40 goes and the angle of the dip is 30 degree. So what is the resultant magnetic field? So the equation is this: H is equal to BE cos I. Horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field is given. That is HE is equal to 0.40 goes. Angle of the dip is given. That is cos I is equal to cos 30. Therefore, what about the resultant magnetic field? BE is equal to HE divided by cos I. That is equal to 0.40 divided by cos 30. What about the value of cos 30?
Root 3 by 2.
Root 3 by 2. Srihari, did you get the answer?
No, ma'am, do it.
You get the value of cos 30, exact value from the log book. You can find the value from that book, log book. Here our options are 0.46 goes, 0.12 goes, 0.36 goes, and 0.14 goes.
Zero 0.46.
Is 0.46 goes. 0.46 goes. So option A is the right answer. So here one more problem like that. Not question number 13. Follow question number 14.
Ma'am,
S,
the option
S, Achyut? S, Achyut?
No, ma'am, I just wanted to see the options.
Okay, options are 0.46 goes, 0.36 goes, 0.12 goes, and 0.14 goes. So here the correct option is 0.46, option A. Is it over?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now move to the question number 14. It's the same problem as that of question number 13. Angle of dip at certain place of the earth is 60 degree and the magnitude of the earth's horizontal component of magnetic field is 0.26 goes. The magnetic field at the place on the earth is 0.13 goes, 0.26 goes, 0.52 goes, and 0.65 goes. Whenever the angle of dip and the horizontal component is given, here we have only one equation to solve this problem. H is equal to BE cos I, where cos I is represents the angle of dip. What about the value of cos 60?
1/2.
1/2. What about the final answer?
0.52.
0.52. 0.52 goes. Option C is the right answer. 0.52 goes. So whenever the magnetic field and the angle of dip is given, use this equation in order to find out the magnetic field of the earth, where HE represents the horizontal component of the earth's magnetic field, B is the earth's magnetic field, and cos I is the angle of dip. This is the equation for horizontal component of the earth magnetic field. For the vertical component of earth magnetic field, here we have Z is equal to BE cos I. Not BE cos I, BE sin I. For vertical component, we have Z is equal to BE sin I. Okay. Now, question number 13. The relation among the three elements of Earth's magnetic field, namely horizontal component HE, vertical component VE. Instead of ZE, here they are taken it as VE, vertical component VE, and angle of dip delta. Instead of angle of dip I, here they are taken it as delta. In some of the textbook, the angle of dip is taken as delta. They are given as V is equal to BE tan delta or H is equal to BE. V is equal to BE sin delta, H is equal to BE cos delta. V is equal to BE cos delta, H is equal to BE sin delta, and V is equal to BE, H is equal to BE tan delta, which is the right answer. Relation between Earth's magnetic field, horizontal component, and vertical component.
Option B.
Is option B. That is what is we were discussed here now. The equations connecting the Earth's magnetic field, horizontal component and vertical component. Instead of horizontal component is a D. I think in our notebook we are using the term is a D, right? If it is a D or VE?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ZE. So instead of this vertical component ZE, here in this given question, the vertical component is taken as VE. The vertical component is equal to magnetic field of the earth into sine I, sine delta, where sine delta is represents the angle of dip. And then the horizontal component is given by HE is equal to BE cos delta. This is the two equations which is connecting the Earth's magnetic field, angle of dip, and horizontal and vertical component of the Earth respectively. Now the next question.
Here, Z is replaced by V. That is only this difference. Right?
Ah, yes. Only difference is here instead of ZE, here we are using VE, and also instead of the angle of dip I, here we are using the term delta. This symbol is known as actually delta in physics. That's the only difference in these equations. So try to concentrate on the question, the relations amongst the three elements of the earth, that is horizontal component of the earth HE, vertical component of the earth VE, and angle of dip delta are the option B. We have two equations for calculating the horizontal component of the earth and the vertical component of the earth. Now question number 15. The magnetic field of the earth can be modeled by that of a point dipole placed at the center of the earth. The dipole axis makes an angle of 11.3 degree with the axis of the earth. At Mumbai, the declination is nearly zero. Then, please go through the question. In the next slide, we have the options. The magnetic field of the earth can be modeled by that of a point dipole placed at the center of the earth. The dipole axis makes an angle of 11.3 degree. Are you familiar with this angle 11.3? What is this 11.3 indicates?
Decline.
Angle of declination. We know that the earth magnetic dipole and that of the geographical axis. The magnetic axis and geographic axis are not aligned in the same line. They are tilted by an angle of 11.3 degree. That is what is known as the angle of declination. So at Mumbai, the declination is nearly zero. Then here we have the options. The declination varies between 11.3 degree west to 11.3 degree east. The least declination is zero. The plane defined by dipole axis and the earth axis passing through Greenwich, declination average over the earth must be always negative. Which is the right answer. Can you guess the answer? The magnetic field of the Earth can be modeled by that of a point dipole placed at the center of the Earth. The dipole axis makes an angle of 11.3 with the axis of the Earth. Suppose if this is the geographical north, south, east, and west. And here the dipole makes an angle 11.3 with that of the axis of the Earth. What about this axis? Axis of this magnetic dipole. Which pole will be lies here?
North.
Is it north?
Geographic north.
Here we have the north pole. So the same north pole lies here. Okay, according to theory, whenever we are take this portion, or already we told that we are consider this is the north and this is the south, but in the real case, actually, which is this pole represent? This is the south pole, because if it is north or south, the like poles always repels each other and the unlike poles are seem to be attract. Okay, so this pole is actually represents south and this is the north. And the angle between the geographic north and that of the magnetic north, geographical north and magnetic dipole angle between the magnetic axis and that of the geographic axis is known as angle of declination. It is 11.3. The magnetic field of the Earth can be modeled by that of a point dipole placed at the center of the Earth. The dipole axis makes an angle of 11.3 degree with the axis of the Earth. At Mumbai, the declination is nearly 0. So our options are: the declination varies between 11.3 degree west to 11.3 degree east. The least declination is 0 degree. The plane defined by dipole axis and the Earth axis passes through Greenwich. Declination averaged over the Earth must be always negative.
I'm option A.
Option A. I need the reason.
The dipole will make different angles.
Yes,
Makes an
actually, does the dipole is coincide or align with that of the Earth axis? Okay, okay, Anna, carry on. Carry on with the explanation, no problem.
No, ma'am. You can explain. Ma'am, I
No,
don't
no, continue, no problem. I don't know the answer. Yes, Anna, continue. Any other? Anyone?
Ma'am,
Yes, Anna.
ma'am, I don't know. You can.
Okay. Anyone? Adil?
I'm option A.
Option A. I need the explanation. Why?
Because the axis of the dipole does not coincide.
Axis of the dipole does not coincide with that of the axis of
The
whom? Axis of the Earth. Okay, so that is the correct explanation. The axis of the dipole does not coincide with that of the axis of the Earth. We know that they are always tilted by an angle of 11.3 degree. So here only there is two possible ways are there. This is the geographical north, south, east, and west. So only one possibility, sometimes it may be tilted by an angle 11.3 degree like this, or it can be tilted by an angle 11.3 degree towards east. Okay, so here the axis of the dipole and that of the axis of the earth does not coincide, or they are not aligned in the same line. They are not aligned in the same line. They are always tilted by an angle. Actually, this angle 11.3 degree is not a constant, but here in the given question, it is given by 11.3 degree. Okay, so here the given answer is the declination varies between 11.3 degree west to 11.3 degree east. Here only we have two possible ways in order to arrange this magnetic dipole with that of the axis of the earth. They are not aligned the same line. The axis of the dipole are not coincide with that of the axis of the earth. Actually, they are varies between the west at 11.3 degree west to 11.3 degree east. Actually, the reason is the axis of the earth not coincide with that of the axis of the dipole. Always it is tilted by an angle of a particular angle. Actually, it is given by 11.3 degree in our textbook, but it is not a constant value. It may be varies. Anyway, it is tilted through an angle either towards east or towards west. Now the next question. At a place in a magnetic meridian, magnetic needle bends 30 degrees from horizontal. If Earth's magnetic field at this place is 2 Gauss, then vertical component and horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is respectively R.
Ma'am,
As
can you move the question somewhat?
okay. Zooming is not working. Is it not visible? Yes, Vidhu.
Ma'am, we chose ma'am 16th or 17th.
16th one is not visible.
No, ma'am.
The maximum zoom in, I think so. It's not working.
No problem.
Ma'am, it is okay, ma'am.
Okay. Sixteenth question, at a place in a magnetic meridian, the magnetic needle bends 30 degree from horizontal. If Earth's magnetic field at this place is 2 Gauss, then vertical component and horizontal component of Earth magnetic field respectively are. All these are direct questions from this chapter. Which equation we can use here in order to find out the horizontal component and vertical component of the earth? Yes, Emmanuel. Equation for calculating the vertical component. Here we want to find out the vertical component first. Unmute and say. Anthony. Aryan, which equation we can use here in order to find out the vertical component of the earth magnetic field? Ashwin. Punya.
ZD is equal to BE sin I.
Yes, very good. ZD is equal to BE sin I. Therefore, ZD is equal to, here BE is given, Earth's magnetic field is given here, that is 2 Gauss. We need to convert it into Tesla. So 2 into 10 raised to minus 4 into sin I. What is sin I? Sin 30. So Z is equal to 2 into 10 raised to minus 4 into, what about sin 30? Value of sin 30? 1 by 2. So here this 2 and this 2 cancels. So here we have 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. The vertical component of the Earth's magnetic field is 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. So here we have two options like that, option A and option B. The vertical component is 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. So here option C and D is wrong. We only need to concentrate on option A and B. Then equation for calculating the horizontal component. Anna. Equation for horizontal component. Actually, in physics class, I like Anna, always responding something. Anna, please help me to find out equations for horizontal components.
Yes, ma'am. For H equal to BE cos.
H is equal to BE cos I. Okay, H is equal to BE cos I. Then H is equal to BE cos I. That is H is equal to 2 into cos 30. 2 into 10 raised to minus 2. Sorry, 10 raised to minus 4 into cos 30. Okay. That is 2 into 10 raised to minus 4 into cos 30. Value of cos 30?
Root 3 by 2.
Root 3 by 2. So the final answer is root 3 into 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. So which option is right? Option A or option B? Is option B. Root 3 into 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. Now, 17th question. Angle of dip is maximum at pole, equator, both A and B, neither A nor B. Angle of dip is maximum.
Pole.
Yes, very good. Angle of dip is maximum at pole. Option A. Angle of dip is maximum at the pole. Why the angle of dip is maximum at the pole? Is there any particular reason? Angle of dip is maximum at pole. Why?
Angle of declination is larger.
It is 90 degree. That is right. Okay. And what about the vertical component of velocity at pole? Vertical component of velocity and horizontal component of velocity is there. Which component of velocity is present at poles? Is it vertical component or horizontal component?
Horizontal.
It is horizontal component of velocity. That is h is equal to be cos I. And the angle at pole is 90 degree. So it is maximum at pole. Okay. Now the 18th question. A current loop
Ma'am.
behaves as.
Will you tell the reason one more time?
So the angle of dip is maximum at pole because here at poles the angle is 90 degree. The angle 90 degree is maximum. Both of them are mutually perpendicular to each other. So H is equal to, we have two components of magnetic field, horizontal component and vertical component. H is equal to BE cos I and V is equal to BE sin I. At poles, the angle between this horizontal and that of geographical axis and that of the earth dipole axis, they are mutually perpendicular to each other. That is, the angle between them is equal to 90 degree. Not 90 degree. It is angle between them is equal to 0 degree. Angle between them is equal to 0 degree. So actually the vertical components, the reason is this, the vertical component of earth magnetic field is not present at the poles. Vertical component of earth magnetic field is not present at the poles. Because the angle between HE and that of the BE is equal to 0 degree. The vertical component is not present at the poles because the angle between magnetic field and that of the magnetic dipole and that of the geographic axis is 0 degree at the poles.
Ma'am,
Yes.
are we looking at like BE cos 0? So it is maximum.
That is why it is maximum. H is equal to cos I, it becomes 0, cos 0. Cos 0 is equal to 1. At the pole, vertical component of velocity is not present. Only the horizontal component of velocity is present at pole. Now, 18th question. A current loop behaves as a system of dash. As a result, it acts as a magnetic dipole. A current loop behaves as a system of dash. As a result, it acts as a magnetic dipole. If it behaves like charge or magnetic pole, both A and B, none of this. A current loop. Now ring B. A current loop behaves as a system of charges. Is there any other options? You need to just act like a magnetic dipole. So which is the correct answer?
Charges.
Charges. Is there any other options? All of them are going with this charges.
Ma'am, magnetic pole.
Magnetic pole. Why?
It acts like a magnetic dipole, no?
Yeah, a current loop behaves as a system of magnetic pole. Then only it is acts like a magnetic dipole. It acts like a north pole and south pole. So here actually the correct answer is option A, magnetic pole. Magnetic pole. A current loop behaves as a system of magnetic pole. System of magnetic pole. As a result, it is act like a magnetic dipole. It must consist of two poles. One is act as a north pole and other is a south pole. You can consider this current loop as a solenoid. Does the solenoid is act as charges? No, it behaves like a magnet, a magnetic pole. As a result, the field lines that is produced around this magnet is exactly similar to that of a bar magnet. And these magnetic poles behaves like one is north pole and other is the south pole. So a current loop behaves as a system of magnetic pole. As a result, it acts as a magnetic dipole, not like charges. The charges cannot be act like north pole and south pole. So the correct answer is magnetic pole. Question number 19. The magnetic field produced by dash on any point on the axial line is same as that of a bar magnet. It's a very simple and direct question.
Solenoid.
Solenoid. Magnetic field produced by a solenoid on any point on the axial line is same as that of a bar magnet. Here we have studied a session regarding with this bar magnet as a solenoid. Okay, now the 20th question. Which of the following statement is or are correct? Magnetic phenomena are not universal in nature. The name lodestone given to a naturally occurring ore of iron magnetite, meaning leading stone. A bar magnet is not analogous to a solenoid. The magnetic field lines are discontinuous, emerging from one face of the solenoid to the infinity.
B.
Option B. Which of the following statements are correct? So here, option B is the right answer. Have you heard about this lodestone? Lodestone is a natural magnet. The name that is given to a naturally occurring magnet are called a lodestone. I hope that all of you may be familiar with this term in the sixth science. You may be familiar with this lodestone. Magnetic phenomena are not universal in nature. This is a false statement. It's a universal phenomenon in nature. A bar magnet is not analogous to a solenoid. Actually, we studied that the solenoid behaves like a magnet. So it is analogous to bar magnet. Solenoid is analogous to bar magnet. The magnetic field lines are continuous. It is discontinuous. It's wrong. It is continuous, emerging from one face of the solenoid to that of the infinity. Okay. Okay, children, so that's all about this chapter, magnetism and matter. So we have one more period today. So I plan a small class test of this chapter, magnetism and matter. We prepare for it for the next period. Only 15 to 20 minutes exam in Google form.
Ma'am,
Yes.
can you show the slide?
Okay.